Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about a huge trend on YouTube that I've realized amongst software engineering channels, which is a day in the life of a software engineer, right? What these are is that engineers would record videos about what their day-to-day life is, and these are really popular amongst engineers that are in Silicon Valley. And basically, what it is they get to work, have a coffee, they code for like 30 minutes, and then they eat for an hour, they code for another 30 minutes, they go like to a petting zoo, and then they totally work for 2 hours a day. That's what these videos make it look like. And then they go home, right? I'm just here to tell you guys today to talk about these videos and why it's not like a real representation of what being a software engineer is. And it's very dangerous to look at these videos and use that as your motivation to want to become an engineer, right? From 99% of the people in this world working as software developers, this isn't the reality. And you guys shouldn't look at these videos and expect that from your job, right? So if you're new to this channel, what we do here is I give you guys tips. I talk about being a software engineer and try to help you guys, switch career paths and become successful software engineers. If you like the content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. I'm super grateful, and I'll keep trying to make great content. So yeah, let's get back to the topic at hand, which is these day in the life videos. Like I said before, they're very popular amongst people in the Silicon Valley, mostly in like San Francisco. And what you don't realize about these videos is they're only showing like the good parts of the job. They're not showing all the downsides. Well, not necessarily downsides, but like the more realistic aspects, right? The reality is you're going to be coding for like 7 hours a day, maybe even more, especially in these Silicon Valley companies. And you're going to be coding most of the time. There's not all these bells and whistles in most of the companies that you're going to be working at throughout your career, right? For the majority of us, myself included, here I'm a software engineer. Here's my like desk. This is where I work all day. What it basically is I get to work in the morning, or like in this case, I just roll out of bed, and I get on Slack. I message my teammates. We talk about what we did in the day before. We talk about what we're going to be doing today, where we're blocked, kind of where we need help with, and then I start my day. And what do I mean by start my day? I mean, I just code for hours on end. Like I take some breaks here and there. I don't like overwork myself or like anything like that. But then, I take a break for lunch and then I keep working. And this is true now. This is true when it's not full quarantine and it's not full work from home. And this is true when I used to work in Silicon Valley as well, right? One thing I want to really talk about is that, you'll see they get to work at like 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. And because all these breaks because they're taking a 2 hour lunch to go to like an all you can eat restaurant and whatever, man, like some of these videos are ridiculous. They end up leaving at like 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. and you realize, wait a minute, like they're working 12-hour days for what? To be able to play ping pong for a bit more time. And I don't know about you, but myself personally, I want to work 8 hours, and then I want to have, a life outside of work as well. You know what they say, like 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours of work, and then 8 hours for yourself. That's my kind of ideal life. And these videos, if you just look at the content and not like the context, it looks like, wow, this is incredible. I can just get to work, code for 2 hours, and then have coffee and hang out with my friends. But, most of the time it's not the reality, especially in a place like Silicon Valley, where the culture is that, you have to work long hours, you have to put in extra time. And most of the time this overtime is unpaid, right? You don't get paid for this, but you're kind of like, it's kind of like forced upon you or looked down upon to only work 8 hours and leave. And it's very important to like see this and not be fooled by these videos. So what these videos also don't mention is the kind of work they're doing, the kind of technology they're using, what their flow looks like, how they communicate with their team. And I can tell you firsthand that I use Slack to talk with my teammates. Especially now, it's huge, and Zoom to like talk with them too. I work on the back end of an iOS app, an Android app, so I work with Node and C#. Yeah, I use stuff like Visual Code for my Visual Studio Code and Visual Studio for my text editors and my IDEs. And yeah, like that's basically it. It's not like super complicated, but these videos always leave out this kind of stuff. It's just them walking or them, having coffee at work and hanging out with their friends. And I just kind of wanted to give you guys more of an insight on what it's actually like to be a software engineer. So don't get me wrong, a lot of these companies, it's true, like with all these perks, there's like a petting zoo and stuff. Like, I don't know, like some of these companies like Google and Facebook, they have some really crazy stuff that's really awesome and definitely encouraged. Like, I'm not talking down on these companies or these jobs. I'm just saying that this isn't the whole job itself, and you shouldn't be using these videos as your motivation or as like the reason why you want to become a software developer, right? If you think to yourself, hey, I want to be a software engineer because I can go have like these incredible lunches and take all these breaks and like barely have to work and make $200,000 a year. That's the completely wrong motivation. And when you become a software engineer, as you inevitably will if you keep trying, you're going to realize that that's not the reality, and that your actual job is completely different than what these videos make it out to seem like. I can tell you firsthand, I used to work in Silicon Valley. I spent a year there in 2018 working for a company there, and it really was like incredible, right? There was these perks, there was all these snacks, like there was a whole fridge full of snacks and all this stuff, and it was really, really great, a great learning experience. But, and I say but, like the downside was oftentimes I was working 10 to 12-hour days. Oftentimes, there were people that left the company because they were working so much, and it really does, dwell on you, the fact that sometimes you're overworked, and sometimes it's kind of like the social culture that forces you to stay extra and like hang out with your teammates, right? What if you don't like your teammates? What if you have a family to support, you have to get home? What if you have kids, you have to drive to soccer practice, right? Like not everyone can work these ridiculous hours or just be expected to spend time with their team and stay till 8 9 p.m. and spend 12-hour days at the office, right? It's completely unrealistic, and it's definitely not true most of the time. Like you don't have to do that kind of stuff, but these videos online of the day in the life of a software engineer will make you seem like, wow, this is unbelievable. And then in the background, you're like, oh yeah, they're getting home at 9 p.m. What I want to end this video with is that these jobs are definitely great. They definitely pay like very well, and it's definitely an awesome like goal to strive towards. But just don't let these videos be your motivation, and don't let these videos drive you to want to succeed as a software engineer. I'm telling you right now, 99% of software developers, don't have don't have this lifestyle. It's very unrealistic and very like dramatized. Most of the time, you're just gonna be working, and you're gonna be, working with your team. Hopefully, you have a good team, like I do. And it's really important that you realize this. It's like, don't get fooled into this false sense of reality where you think you're going to go to work and then work for an hour and then go to a petting zoo or something. It's simply not true. And I want you guys to be as realistic as possible and know what you're getting yourselves into. I know this was a different kind of video, so I hope you guys have enjoyed. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know what your experience is like as a software developer, and if you guys had these same experiences, or if you completely disagree with me. I want to be as real as possible with you guys, so let me know. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and don't forget to enjoy your coding.